And welcome inside the Turtle Dome here on Cornwall Island in Akwesasne. Pat Gregoire, the man you just heard chime in, Steven Stamp.
Pat really wanted us to talk, so I was ready to go.
We have semifinal number 1 between the Elora Mohawks and the Coquitlam Adanacs. Elora, the heavy favorites, looking for their first Founders Cup since all the way back in 2005, but the Coquitlam Adanacs standing in their way as they hit the turf. And we'll start with our players to watch. One of the top scorers for this Adanac team, Jeremy Basic. 12 points for him, 3 goals, 9 assists. He's putting together quietly a strong Founders Cup run here.
Yeah, and he was solid last year for them as well in the Founders Cup. He's just a solid player you can rely on. He's always going to be steady. He doesn't do a lot of stuff spectacularly, but boy, he doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes for them either. And he was pretty important for them yesterday in that massive win. When they had to win by 6, wound up winning by 7. On the other side, the Elora Mohawks.
We'll see them take the floor, and talked a lot about their offensive power, but sneaky, their best part of their game is their defense, and one of their top defenders, AJ Skirving, a big body, goes to the University of Western Ontario. Not going to blow you away with his stats as you see there, but he'll blow you away with his athleticism and size.
Yeah, stats aren't the point when it comes to most members of this Elora defense. I've been very impressed with the way that they play as a unit, the way that they have a knack for playing relatively passively until they need to move. They will sit in a zone, they'll sit in a rainbow, and then when somebody tries to do something, boom, they're on it. You try and cut through the middle, they're with you. You try and make a pass anywhere into a dangerous area, they're with you. So I think that's going to be an interesting thing to watch. And the key to me for, as you see the refs there, Dave Hallett, is the one to the right there from the FNLA, Joe Catalano from Alberta, and Trent Bray is the standby. He is from the FNLA as well. And to me, I think one of the keys is Coquitlam wants to run. They're going to push and push and push the pace. Can Elora make it more of a 5-on-5 game, which I think is to their advantage?
It certainly is to their advantage as they slow things down, whether it be on the power play or 5-on-5. Curtis Woodland leading the way with 24 points in 3 games. And the man who's probably been the most dominant at the face-off X, Bo Columbus, back in the lineup. He was nursing some injuries. Just talked to his father before the game, and he was saying how he's excited to get back in the lineup, but a much, much needed day of rest for a lot of those Elora Mohawks. And they win the draw, but they lose the loose ball battle as the starting goaltender, Gordon Bowden with the ball, looking for his options, can't find anything. As he lobs that down, and he does. What a beautiful pass there to the other team's captain. That's Matthew Schmiegel.
A great
shot from the outside. That was a nice take there by Trevor Funk.
Nice catch by Schmiegel as well, and it sets up that opportunity for Funk, who has been very dangerous. And again, balanced scoring from Coquitlam, but they really get rolling when Funk gets a hot stick.
And the hottest stick of them all, Curtis Woodland, will start off this offensive possession. Hands that one over to Clayton Holscher, the other captain, down the other way, takes that shot. 7 seconds left on the clock, so Woodland's going to have to fire something on net. That one just goes wide as Bowden tries to get out of its way.
And Clayton Holscher is staring down that ball, sitting in the crease. We've mentioned before, if you're used to watching the NLL, a little different. You can't reach in the crease to get the ball, so Holscher can do nothing but stare.
So Coquitlam will have an offensive possession here. We saw them do a great job swinging the ball east and west, and that's what they're continuing to do. Forselius into the lineup. Don't believe we saw him yesterday. Bo Chetner tries to fire that over on to Forselius, and loose ball picked up by our man to watch. Number 5, AJ Skirving. You see the blonde flow flying out of his bucket.
Skirving steps in, and that whole possession was disrupted by Mason Noble, who tipped a cross-floor pass, and that's what led to the ball being on the ground and up for grabs.
Zach Cameron with the rock, using his body to fend away from a defender. Curtis Woodland trying to free up space. Beautiful bounce shot, and we have our first goal of the game. Zach Cameron with a beauty.
What a start for Elora. What a start for Zach Cameron. And Elora had a kind of a sleepy game yesterday in a game where they'd already clinched first place in their pool. There was not really anything on the line when they played Saskatchewan. But here they're showing a lot of jump. And look at the spark that Cameron brings. And look how far out that ball was bounced off the turf. That makes it so difficult for a goalie when it's from that far away.
Another win by Bo Columbus. He can't find the ball, but instead Mason Noble, one of the top defenders for this Mohawk team. It gets the ball over to his captain, Clayton Holscher. Slowing the ball down is number 16, Ryan Mueller, who's back in the lineup. Holscher with it. Gonna have a moving pick there, so play's gonna go the other way as the Elora faithful quiets down quite a bit. I think with the medicine men in, I think you can say Seneca and Elora will probably have the biggest contingency of fans here at the Turtle Dome. Play the other way. Brian Smith with the ball, wearing his number 1 here. The lefty trying to get something going. Fires that over to Trevor Funk, one of the new pickups from Maple Ridge. And look at this suffocating defense by Elora. But good on Trevor Funk to get that shot off, and Smith grabs the loose ball.
Smith, diligent work down there. He will get those loose balls. Big guy, uses his body, but nice hands as well.
Alex Nimmo with the rock. Tries to get that one on cage, but it's a big block once again from this defense as Blake Lewis soaks a shot. It's playoff time. It's the Founders Cup. Players will be sacrificing their body all game long here in the semifinals. Semifinal number 1 of the Founders Cup Championship here on JVI Sports Network. Loose ball picked up by the Adanacs. That was Josh Milligan. So he just gets that to his offense. Bo Chetner, who a little bit of a spark plug on offense, loves to move his feet and move that ball east-west. Chetner still with it now. Over to Miller. Forselius drives down low, spin move. Trying to get through the traffic, he can't. Takes that shot, weakly turned away there by Landon Kells. And loose ball picked up by Nathan Bolger.
Landon Kells having a really strong season, played quite a few games with the Peterborough Junior A Lakers.
Yes.
Where he was drafted very high, but he was committed to this team from day one. He knew there was something special with this Elora Mohawks club.
Special indeed. We'll see an outside shot taken there. That one goes wide as Holscher, the captain, can't find Twine. We have a injured player down, and that player's wearing a knee brace, and he's holding his right leg. You hate to see that.
Ryan Mueller is on the turf and grabbing at that brace, and you know, when obviously when there's been issues before that necessitate a brace, you always worry about it. And for a lot of these players, I mean, the only time they play on carpet in the summer is when they go to Six Nations and play at the ILA. We'll see what happens here as he spins, and he just crumpled as he turned. You can see it right on the left of the screen that nothing happened. There's no collision. His knee just buckled, and the turf is very grabby. It does a lot of really positive things to the turf. It looks good. It's a truer bounce and a more contained bounce, but it does tend to cause problems for players' knees, and you hate to see that happen.
Hopefully for Ryan Mueller and this Elora Mohawks team, it's a tweak and nothing too serious, because he has been a big part of this run. Down the other way, Miller with the ball, Daniel Miller. Now brings it behind GLE, comes back up top, finds the middle, but a big defensive play by Mason Noble.
I don't mind that play to chop him down, actually, because Noble had lost his stick and was behind Nimmo, had to grab his stick and catch up to him. So there are worse things than taking that possession call. When
Skirving just with 2 consecutive plays, and he's going to be off to the races. He's our player to watch, and for a good reason. Can't find the back of the net there, though.
Very active movement there by the goaltender, Gordon Bowden, on that shot. Usually on a breakaway, the goalie doesn't have that much time to move, but he's so quick, he just leaped across.
Yeah, Bowden, a very athletic goaltender for this Coquitlam team. Seems to be a recent trend for the purple and yellow. Christian Del Bianco, perhaps. Outside shot harmlessly on net from Daniel Miller, and Landon Kells continues his solid start.
When the ball is outside, keep your eyes inside. There's a lot going on. Chopping, pushing. In that case, Brian Smith just grabbed onto the stick of one of the Elora defenders and held it for most of the possession.
Curtis Wooden unloads a huge shot. Good feed by Rahanic to get to the middle, but a pass there by Holscher can't go through. Good forecheck though by Curtis Woodland, the tournament's leading scorer. Moving pick, and we're going to get more than just a moving pick on that one.
Interference call coming. A little excessive by Tyson Johnston. Going to have it called an illegal cross-check, and Johnston had a huge game yesterday, the defensive transition player with 3 goals and 3 assists. And you can see he just blew up the defender as he ran into that position.
So this deadly power play of the Mohawks will get to work here, and none other than big number 9, Curtis Woodland, will quarterback the top. Takes that shot. That's the one thing about this Elora team. They do not wait to go to work. As soon as they see a look, they like to take it, as you see.
Reminds you of the Saskatchewan rush. Take a shot when there's a good one there.
Woodland thinks he's got a good shot. Bounce shot. Rebound comes up and scores. Hyatt Welsh takes out the trash, puts it away, and the Elora Mohawks are rolling here with a 2-0 lead.
It was a pretty good shot by Woodland, but it was stopped by Bowden, and Welsh is right on top of it. And you can just see this coming as he takes that shot, and Welsh was left. The key there, the 2 Elora players down to the left side of the crease drew both of the Coquitlam defenders, because with the shot coming from the right wing, they thought the most likely rebound was going to the far side, but it actually rolled back right out in front, and Welsh was all alone.
Welsh's solid Founder Cup continues for him as he picks up his 4th point, now up to 11 in 3 games. He did sit in yesterday's game, one of the other players that got a rest. Down the other way, Woodland over to Holscher.
There's a Coquitlam player on the floor. Clayton Holscher is wondering why play was stopped, but there was no imminent scoring threat, so they've blown it down to let the player get some treatment. He was clearly in some distress. It looks like the left knee. Oh, we are less than 7 minutes in, and we've got 2 knees of players that are not looking good. And the thing, beyond the fact that you worry about the players and you wish for the best for them, when you, for instance, Ryan Mueller goes down 3 or 4 minutes into the game, if he's not able to play, that's a long time for you to play one player short.
You'll see Nicholas Messino, he tries to keep moving. That left leg sticks, like you mentioned, the stickiness of the turf, and Messina goes completely off, and
straight to the dressing room.
That's usually not a good sign at all.
And you can kind of weather a loss like that to a forward like Mueller, maybe a little bit better than the defender, because you have generally, and both these teams do have 8 forwards and 10 defenders that they're going with, which means you have 2 lines of 5.
Outside shot from Woodland just misses, but not missing is the captain, Clayton Holscher, picks up the rebound. This Elora team always drives to the net, and good thing they do, because that's 2 goals off the rebound.
Yeah, and we always say driving to the net is one thing, having the hands to pick up the ball and put it home is another, but Holscher was just a terrific pickup. And again, you can see as you watch the replay, as Woodland is shooting, Holscher is driving to the net. It's not, you don't go when the ball gets there.
Yep.
If you want that opportunity, you go before the shot or as the shot is taken.
Absolutely, it's all about anticipation. Bo Columbus, once again, another big face-off. Goes to prep school at Avon Old Farms in the States. Beautiful move, dancing through. Clayton Holscher certainly feeling himself here with a beautiful toe drag. Tyrus Rahanic feeding on the inside, quick stick. That one goes aside. Josh Rex has been deadly there. But Coquitlam, here they go. This is how they like to play their game. Fast and furious. Shot there from Tyson Johnston, just goes awry.
Yeah, Johnston, we mentioned, had a huge game yesterday.
Chance now the other way. Shot and scores. Cole Spear from Curtis Woodland. Those two have been working together for the past 15 years all the way down to minor lacrosse.
And they are just on fire. We mentioned that yesterday the Mohawks were a little sleepy in a game that didn't really mean much to them. They didn't come out with much fire in their bellies. They've got nothing but fire in their bellies here. They are on all cylinders, firing on all cylinders, 4-0 they're up. And after the goal, their face-off team, their draw team, sprinted out to their positions. They're not just running during play, they're running to get ready to play.
And we'll have some rough stuff here as one of the Elora Mohawks hit the turf. And we know Coquitlam, they're not afraid to mix things up. We saw that yesterday, a lot of chirping, a lot of hacking and whacking after the whistle. And what they're trying to do now is try to distract Elora from the role that they're on and get them maybe grind it out and slows things down. Tyrus Rahanic feeds the middle, shot there, goes wide, rebound once again, picked up, shot and scores. Cole Spear, are you kidding me?
What a beautiful spot by Cole Spear. Again, the ball, you can hear them resounding off the boards. Spear picks it up, the quick release, and perfectly placed around the screen.
See Rahanic with a beautiful feed, and again, the awareness by this Elora team to be ready off the boards, off the rebounds, but what a finish there from Cole Spear.
Gordon Bowden is coming to the bench. Roman Rose will enter the game. Something, anything that Coquitlam can do to turn this around. You see the coaches going along the bench, talking to their players, trying to keep them up, trying to keep them positive. It's 5 goals. It's 5-0. It looks really bad, but at the same time, I mean, you can be down by 5 in the middle of the second and just think, oh, it's 5 goals. We just have to go get it. It's the same thing. You just have more time here in the first period.
Lots of time.
You have to stop them soon.
Bo Columbus on a break with a stick on his back of the head, and we've seen him do that a couple of times.
He's drifted some up into the mesh. He's bounced some way down low. He does not have much control in the back of that wicked hook face-off stick.
Down the other end, the first possession there. We'll see this bench seal come out. What will they do? Instead, they decide to send the goalie back.
And it's Bowden who's going back into net.
Bowden back in net, like you said, probably just to maybe relax him, calm things down. Hutchison, lob pass over to Holster, down low, into the corner. Woodland. Skip pass, that one doesn't get through. Nice tip there from the defenders of Coquitlam. Ball still down on the turf, but Tyrus Rahanic picks up the Lucy, takes the shot. Talk about a big bounce back by Bowden. Huge stop for him.
The arm save by Bowden in with Rahanic in tight. That is big because you've got to stop the bleeding, as we said, and then the tip to pass the ball away.
And here comes a chance for Coquitlam. It's Buono. And he can't use his speed to free up some space. Good job for Woodland to get back. Anthony Bueno. We know he's got wheels. Nice back check there. Once again, Blake Lewis. Coquitlam still fighting for it. Now loose ball goes all the way into Landon Kells' crease, and he'll just flip this one off to AJ Skirving. Skirving, waiting, sees a lane. Instead, fires it over to Rahanic. Rahanic. Flip pass up top to Cole Spear. Shot. That one just hitting the glove of Gordon Bowden. We get ourselves a moving pick there.
We reach the midway point of the first period. 5-0. Coquitlam trying to get things turned around.
Trying indeed. We'll see if this shot here does it, but nope. Landon Kells stays strong. Too many men for Elora. As Curtis Woodland ducks onto the floor before one of his defensive teammates gets to the change box. So Bo Chetner's going to start things off. Tries to cut to the middle. Nice roll. Rolls again. Knocks his defender out. Tries that flip pass, but Hutchison gets in the way. Hutchison flip pass up there. Gets it to safe space as Jonah White is there. Woodland off the bench. That's Zach Cameron. He's already got a goal. Over to Hyatt Welch. Hyatt Welch. Shot from the outside and scores. Josh Rex He was a depth player during the season in the playoff run, just 7 goals. And in 4 goals here in the Founder Cup, he has matched that total.
And that's just a lovely shot. Gets it in a perfect spot around the screen, just inside the post, past the left foot of Gordon Bowden. And I mean, you can change your goalie again if you want, but if guys keep hitting spots like that through screens, it's going to be pretty tough for Bowden or Rose or anyone to stop too many of them.
Yeah, I think Anthony Buono needs to get out to hands there as well. Bo Columbus loses the draw, but has the stick-to-itiveness to battle for that loose ball and pick it up. 9 minutes, 5 seconds to go here on JVI Sports Network. 6-0. The Ontario champs lead the BC representatives, the Coquitlam Adanacs. Ball now behind the net with Zach Cameron. Cameron feeds it in the middle. Cole Spear. Wow. How he's able to hold on to this ball and get a shot off is beyond me.
Just unbelievable. I mean, we talked about the talent this team has up and down the lineup, and you're going to see a great example of it by Spear with Merritt. Riley Merritt is all over him. That's pretty good defense, and not necessarily a pass you should be able to complete, let alone complete and have turned into a goal like that. 7-0 Elora.
Elora looks like a well-oiled machine here, and a perfect one. Face-off by Bo Columbus. He's put on a clinic. I'll see Rahanic now slowing things down, directing traffic as he always does. Skip pass to his buddy, his Brock Badger friend. Gives it back to him. That's Woodland now over to Hyatt Welsh. Welsh spin move. Tries to feed that one in tight to Nathan Bolger. Loose ball battle now, won by Anthony Buono. And Buono's just going to slow things down. Nimmo, one of the other pickups before this tournament. As it's over there to Eric Forselius. Forselius tries to throw that into the corner. Luckily for them, Nimmo picks it up. Back to Forselius, and the big stick of AJ Skirving knocks that out, but we're going to have a penalty here.
It's going to be Smiggle going off. A slashing call in the offensive zone on the forecheck as that ball came loose. You're just pointing out that AJ Skirving just flicked his stick up with the wrist and got that ball en route from one Adanac to another. That's the way it's been going. EDP Renewables is one of our sponsors, and they are sponsoring this game. We thank them for making it possible for us to bring you free live coverage of Founders Cup 2018.
Back to the power play is this deadly unit. Curtis Woodland, skip pass, and what a save by Gordon Bowden. Unbelievable stop. That could be a game changer here. Maybe that's the spark we're looking for. Bo Chetner runs right into traffic, but uses that strong frame of his to get through. Little dump shot there. Probably not the best take there as Noah Labar just picks that loosely up.
That's tough. I mean, you're down 7-0. You've driven the length of the floor. You want to give your team a spark, like you said, but shorthanded with 2 or 3 men around you and not really knowing where the net was or where you were in relation to it. Not the shot you want. Not the shot
you want, indeed. Wheel offense now coming here. Welsh with the skip pass to Rahanic. Rahanic behind the back feed, getting fancy. But Buono is going to pick this loose ball up and casually trot down the floor. He's got Funk with him. Does he see him? No, he doesn't. Takes that instead, but Funk almost picking up the loose ball off the boards. Instead, Cole Spear does a great job to come back and reverse transition, grab the ball.
Another shot shorthanded. Not a little different situation, though, as Buono had some momentum. He got the spin and was actually pretty aware where he was in I thought, a better shooting position, but still doesn't get the result they like.
He also had Funk with him, and
yeah.
Not too sure. That does tip off. I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen Cole Spear take a shot go that wide before. Spear and Woodland playing catch now. That ball squirts away from Clayton Holscher over to Woodland, back up top to Spear. With Woodland takes the shot and scores. Curtis Woodland, what a unbelievable Junior B Championship run he's made to this title game or semifinals game, and it continues for him.
And Woodland's been actually fairly quiet by the standards he set for this tournament, but
just a cool 3 points.
Yeah. That's just a beautiful shot. Drops the head of the stick sidearm as he likes to do at times. I mean, he's got the dead overhand as well, but just that gave him a perfect angle to get it inside the far post.
Loose ball picked up. It's never stop and slow it down for Elora. If they have a chance, they'll take it, but they realize instead probably smart to pull it out. So we'll see Elora try to go at it again. Quick stick attempt, decided not to be used. Trying to feed the middle is Zach Cameron. Loose ball now picked up by Buono. He's been all over the defensive end, trying to spark something here for the purple and gold. Ball down now to Brian Smith. Smith, the big body, fires that over to the far side. Chetner picks up the Lucy. Nice little face dodge by Chetner, looking for his options. Can't see one. Still nothing being done, and this suffocating Elora defense is just putting on a absolute clinic. Another 30-second clock shot kill.
And that ball came over to the boards right in front of the Elora fan section, and they were all over the ref saying Brian Smith is holding his stick. And Smith has several times just grabbed onto his stick and held it at critical times.
Rahanic, the Brampton, Ontario native, flits that over to Cole Spear. Little twister attempt.